Okay, I'm going to be demoing how to create a NgRx store in Angular. All right, so we need to start a new Angular project. So we're going to go NgRx app. That works. We don't need routing. This is a simple demo. Just regular CSS is fine. Okay, while that's installing, we're going to look at the next part we're going to install, which will be NgRx. So we are using Angular's CLI. So we're going to use this add NgRx store latest. So let's go ahead and copy that. This should be just about done. Any moment now. All right, cool. So we're going to cd into that, NgRx. All right, paste that in here, ng-add. No, this is just a sample project. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up their demo and make sure we go through their demo correctly. Okay, so we've already installed it. Installation is complete. All right, let's come down to the tutorial and let's follow this. So let's open this up in our editor. Take this off the screen. Okay. All right, so we have our app built, or it's installed. So we're going to go ahead and add in these next few things. So let's add this counter.actions.ts. So we're going to come in here, and let's follow this as close as we can. Pull this back over here. All right, so in app, we're going to create a new file. Call this the counter.actions.ts. Open that up. Okay, so what we're doing here, let's scroll this all over. Okay. So, well, yeah, what we did is we brought in the create action from NGX store, and we're putting in 3 actions here. One's going to be incrementing, decrementing, and resetting. And this is just a simple app that whenever you hit the plus button, it's going to increment the number. Push down, it's going to decrement the number. Okay, cool. Save that. We need our next file is our reducer. Okay, go our counter.reducer.ts. Copy that. All right, our reducer is the thing that's going to take our actions that are emitted and going to filter them down and insert them into the store as pure functions. Okay. So what we got from here, we got a reducer, and we imported our 3 actions from our actions file, increment, decrement, and reset. We need to set what is our initial value of our store, which is 0. And then we got a reducer here. We got our initial state as the first argument. Then you can pass in as many additional arguments as you want to this that are actions. So that's on whatever action comes through. So on the increment, we're going to take the state, which their state for now is just 0. Takes the state, adds 1 to it, and sets that as the new state. Same thing here, removes 1, and reset just sets state to 0. And then we export the counter reducer. This is done like this in just 2 separate lines. You could technically do this. Oops, and just say return that. Same thing, it's just broken out so it looks a little bit simpler. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and save that. All right, so now we need to import our store. So we're in our app module here. And from here, we need to import our app component. We haven't created well, we do have an app component. We need our store. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do our reducer as well. That here. And then next we need to do the imports, which actually brought the store module in automatically for us. All right, so we've got a store module here for root. Check, has 2 empty objects, which we don't need 2. We just need 1. And this is going to be called count. And it's going to use our count reducer, so our counter reducer. Okay, check. Oops, there it is in there twice. Huh. Okay, cool. And that's set. Nothing else we need to do here. Save that. All right, so then we'll create a component that will actually consume our reducer, or the store. So we're going to say, let's create our ngGenerate. So go ngGenerate component. Let's give it a name. This will be the myJS counter. Okay, there it goes. We have my counter here. Okay, so let's close all these. CSS, HTML, and the JS. Okay, cool. We're going to just replace everything inside of here with this guy. Good. So, component, and we have an observable. We got the selector, which is, the app, my counter here. Good. And we got the observable here. This is where, whenever we do import the store, it's going to come in as a observable or a stream. Okay, cool. Then we'll come down to my counter component. So let's go ahead and update our HTML file right here. Okay, so we have our buttons here. This one will increment it, decrement it, reset, and this is where we'll display the current value of our counts. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's keep this guy saved. Let's go down to here. So we're going to need to add this one in. Okay, let's go ahead and just copy that. Go over to app HTML. And we don't need all of this. All the way down. Yeah, we don't need anything. Paste that in there. Save that. We need to import him into the root module. Okay, so we're going to have our declarations. My counter app actually automatically came in because we used the generate. Awesome. That would be this part right here. Okay, cool. So now let's go back to the TS file. My counter TS. That's the test. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in the counter. File this away. And this is this dot count $ equals store dot select. We're going to be selecting count from our store. And it doesn't know what store is yet because we didn't import them in. So go private store, and it's the type of store. And inside of the store, not the strong store, we have count, which is a type number. Okay, let's import this in. That's just control space to pull up that hot command to be able to import definitions or files. All right, so we got that. Good. All right, so let's implement the increment here. This dot count $ equals store dot select. Oh, that's not right. Oh, my vision went to a different spot of the app here. This dot store dot dispatch, and we're going to dispatch the increment command. Increment, and not that. It's just increment. Okay, and we need to import these in. Okay, cool. All right, the decrement, we're going to need to do the same thing. This dot store dot dispatch decrement. And then same thing with reset. This dot store dot dispatch reset. Okay. Looks good. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and build our app. We go ng-serve. Give this a moment to compile. All right, so that's done compiling. So we're going to go ahead and open up here. So control click. All right, so we can increment and we can decrement here, increment up, and we get reset. Nice. All right, we're going to add in an additional one. So we're going to go, let's just do another here called times 5. Cool. And just to show that this one works, what you do is you come back to our actions here. We're going to create a new one. I'm going to call this one times 5 times 5. Okay, cool. And let's go to our reducer here. This is our times 5. What that does is it takes the state and times it by 5. Save that. All right, and let's go back to our my counter here, and we need this guy. Okay, and this is going to be times 5. Times 5. Cool. So increment and then times 5. Huh. Why? That's just adding it by 1. Let's see. What did we do that's not causing this to work? Let's go to our actions here. So times 5. Let's go to, oops, there we go. Times 5. And no, it's just going to be like this. I'm going to import them in, which is coming from here. Save that. Now I can go add a few, and then boop, times 5. Then reset. Okay, cool. So that's how you add those in. Now to show that this is working in another part of the component, we'll just create another component here. So we're going to go ng-generate. We're going to call this one other component. All right, so that should have done all our magic for us. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to just, I don't want to copy everything. What we'll do is I'm going to make this full screen, open the component, come into here, put that over to the side, and we're going to start importing everything in. So for sure, we're going to need this. And what I want to demo here is just showing that how two components can share the same state and be made aware that anytime one of them changes. You're not implementing an on the net. That's not required. Other component. That's beautiful. Okay. We don't need a styles URL here. We're just doing something pretty basic. Okay, cool. So let's import this guy in. Remember, control space, import that in. And we're going to get the counter as well. So this dot count with a $sign equals store dot select. And we're going to get counter. Nice. And we need to define what count is. So that's count up here with a $sign. And is an observable. Use a $sign to denote that this variable is a observable or a stream. It's not required, but it's just common practice. Okay, so it's a number coming in through here. All right, and this doesn't even need to be private because it's just going to stay right here. It's just only available to constructor. Okay, save that. Now let's jump over to our HTML file. Stay that here, and let's jump to this HTML file. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. Now we'll just right here. Okay, cool. And let's open up, leave this open for a second here. The selector is app other component, and come back into our app HTML. And let's put that just right below it. I'll save that, and we should be able to just ng serve. And we should have 2 counters on the screen. Okay, it's done, so let's refresh this page. All right, so we have the other components down here. It's set to 0, just like this one. Increment, both of them are incrementing together, and decrementing and resetting. Okay, all right, that's a basic implementation of NgRx store. I'll make another video that will show how to do pass variables along with your dispatch.